today we're going to take you around the Princess V55. We can start here in the cockpit. This is really important model in Princess's sports cruiser range. The V55 is the twin shaft drive. You can have it with Volvo Penta engines, either 900 or 1000 horsepower. Top speed is around 35 knots. And the key thing really is this link between the aft deck and the saloon. So you have the sunpad right at the back, underneath which there's space for a Williams 345. So you have got a nice tender garage on board this model. Of course, on top of that, you've got sunbathing space, and good sunbathing space. 3 or 4 adults could lie down on there in the sun, nice and comfortably, but also the bench integrated that faces into the cockpit. And this is a really well protected cockpit. Obviously, you've got the overhang overhead, you've got glass down both sides, so you should be really well protected from the wind in here. This table opens up to double in size, and there's space on this side of it to put some more chairs if you want to have a bigger party dining. The other thing to mention is you can fully enclose this entire area with canvas, and it goes right back to the edge of the sunpad. So this whole area can be fully weatherproof, so you can use it all year round and stay nice and protected. Here on the starboard side, you've got a wet bar out here. This is all your fuel shutoffs, emergency access, manual bilge pump, that sort of stuff. And then there's cooling space under here. You've got a fridge and ice maker. Obviously the grill, that's fixed. And then that's just a little drain locker. But you could have a second docking station if you want to be able to manoeuvre the boat from back here. Obviously back here, if you're mooring stern to, you're really nice and close to the bathing platform. You can see everything. It's not a huge boat. It will be owner run. There is a crew cabin option. But berthing from that helm will be okay because the all-round view is pretty good. But if you want a control station back here, you can have it. Now, it does say no entry, but I'm going to be a little bit naughty because I do want to show you the side deck. It's pretty simple up here, but I'm sure you want to see it. Obviously, you can have teak on these side decks. This boat hasn't got it. And this, incidentally, is the 100th V55 they've built. So that says a lot about the popularity of this model, of this size, owner-run, big, 3 cabins downstairs, but easy to handle yourself if you're going to run it as an owner. Right up here, sunbathing space, bench, some typical Princess touches. We've got storage on either side for your lines. Maybe not quite fenders, but certainly lines and covers could go in there. Double anchor locker. I'll go right forward. Pretty standard stuff really, but I can pop up the camera and just show you the view. Looking back, and you can see the size of that sunroof. It's huge. And that's the benefit of the V Class range. No flybridge, of course, but a lovely big sunroof and single level living. Head back round. The starboard side deck is exactly the same, so I'll go back the way I came. Just hover to show you through this roof. Don't worry, we're going to have a proper look in there in a moment. Coming back, nice handrails and guardrails. It feels pretty safe, to be honest. And before we go inside, I'll just drop down to the transom because it's clear now. It's a hydraulic bathing platform that's got a 450 kilogram lift capacity. Obviously, it's that section that lifts up to reveal the tender garage for the Williams. So the tender is all nicely stowed away, but you could keep another toy back here if you wanted to. So it's a really versatile area. Option to have a passerelle too to help connect to the quayside. And this is where the crew cabin is. The crew cabin's an option. It's a small boat to have crew. Very specific markets would want a crew really for a boat of this size. If you don't have that, it's just a really big storage space, which is really handy. You can see it's got a window for when it is a crew cabin, but don't imagine many will be speccing the crew cabin option. Right, let's head inside. This is a very clever arrangement. The whole window drops down into that cassette there, and that's where the sliding door section is. So that comes up, then you slide the door across, then you put this down, and that's what encloses the saloon. But when it's open, it really is open. The link between these two areas is fantastic. And there's a TV that comes out of this section that can face both ways. So it can then face in the cockpit if you want to watch TV outside, or of an evening, swing it around and you can watch TV inside the saloon. Pretty flat threshold between these two areas. And this is your galley. Now there's not space to have a domestic sized fridge freezer in here. So all of your cooling is under counter. You can have a second fridge where that storage is, or you can have 2 Sub-Zero, I think probably 4 actually, 2 pairs of Sub-Zero drawers in place of this arrangement. Just depends what you prefer. You probably will want a bit more cooling space than that. Just one fridge. Yes, there's one outside, but I definitely go for the second fridge option. Induction cooking over here, nice that it's in white so it blends into this counter. Microwave underneath, of course, sink and a bit of storage over on the starboard side. Now this table is fixed. It doesn't go up and down, but it does close up, so if you just want to use it as a coffee table, you can do that, as I mentioned. TV comes up from there, so a little bit limited as to who can actually see that comfortably from this seating. If you're past this point, you're okay, but here it's going to be a bit awkward. But that's the arrangement, you know, they've got the galley over on the starboard side, the TV can't go there, so it has to go there. And nicely you have the functionality of it being able to face out into the cockpit. Don't often get that on boats this size. The nice touches down here with the glasses all tucked away. And then we come to the helm. I'll hover behind it, you can have a look around. My inner Nick Burnham is not liking that, there we go. Just for you, Nick. There you go, helm station. Very clean, you know, dark materials. Loads of manufacturers use that shiny plastic. I wish they wouldn't. You can see the light bouncing off it, but there you go. I much prefer the matte stuff they've got around the outside, but a nice driving position. 2 helm chairs, you can sit, you can stand. I like the dished Princess steering wheel. Obviously you've got your throttles and thruster controls, but you can add a joystick into this equation to control both the engines and the thrusters if you want joystick control, so like IPS. You could have a second big Garmin screen there instead of the one big, one small. I would definitely do that, I think, just to have, you know, the 2 bigger screens is always nice, especially if you're running the boat yourself. Good view forward, as you can see, and then we have the sunroof. I mean, look at that. That really does come back a long way, and the beauty is, you push a button, over comes the roof, and the boat is weatherproofed within seconds. It really is a boat you can use all year round, this. You know, you've got one cover to put on, well, one canopy, take the cushions off. In the winter, you can just leave the cushions off the bow, and you can use this thing all year round. It's really comfortable, nicely made, typical sort of beautifully judged interior from Princess. They really have got it right with this one. Storage under here, almost like a glove box. And then we descend to the lower deck. On the way, we come past the switchboard. These have modernised a bit on the more recent Princess models, but you know, it's designed to be easy to use, simple to see what major functions you're switching on and off. You can see your voltages, you can switch between the shore power, the generator here, you can start and stop the generator from here. Yeah, it's important stuff, this. It's all easily on show, and there's more of that downstairs. They really have thought about the fact that this will be run by an owner and make looking after it as easy as possible. So let's hover in the middle, just to explain the layout that we have here. So it's 3 cabins. You've got a full beam owner's cabin amidships. There's a bunk bed on the starboard side, or 2 bunk beds. Day head to port, and then a VIP cabin right forward. Let's start right forward and work back. VIP cabin. This is nice. The bed's quite high, but it's wide, comfortable, and I really like the mix of materials in here. Really thoughtful, from the wood to the panelling they've got behind the bed head there. Nice soft underlighting. Yeah, Princess Design Studio really do their thing very well. Storage is decent. Nice big hanging locker with auto illumination on the starboard side. They've worked a bureau in here. There's no seat, but you can sit on the edge of the bed. We've got Dometic air conditioning, heating controls, you know, for each cabin, repeaters for the light switches so you can turn the lights off from in bed. And you've got glass, but you've also got opening ports so you can get some breeze in here. Now the day head is also the VIP bathroom. I'll just close that door. So this cabin has private access to the day head, and that's a good size, isn't it? Big shower, and I love the equipment they use. You know, it really is high-end stuff. You know, this is production market, but the quality rings out. It's lovely. Opposite, and also using this bathroom, is the bunk cabin. Ostensibly for kids, but there's a load of good things in here. The floor space, the headroom is excellent. You've got 2 big wardrobes. You've got independent climate control. And it's just a nice cabin to move around. Yes, the beds are slightly on the small side, but, you know, for a few nights, adults would be fine. But perfect for the kids. They'd love it in here, really cosy. And I was talking about the, you know, ease of access to stuff for the owner. Well, I love that you just, if you pan up now, if you're not already, drop this hatch down and look how easy it is to access behind the helm. One hatch drops down, it's all lit. You can get the electronics. And really pretty clean as well, considering this is all behind the scenes. Not many people are really going to see this, but if you're working on the boat as the owner, you're going to see it a lot. And then you just put up this catch and it's all away. Brilliant. We have company, so I'm going to carry on moving amidships to the owner's cabin. On the way in, on the port side, is where you find the private bathroom. This has got a sliding door, which is clever because it doesn't gobble up too much space. Heated towel rail, electric toilet. Similar, obviously, fit and finish to the guest cabin, but nice big separate shower cubicle. No rain shower head, but a big window, extraction, and a window as well. So shouldn't get too steamy in here. Then we drop down. I'm going to close the door so it's a bit quieter, because behind the door as well is where you find the washer dryer. So combined washer dryer in here, so you can do your laundry on board, and then yeah, 4-beam owner's cabin. Really nicely executed. There's a level change, but I can still stand up pretty comfortably next to the bed. I'll just hover still so you can have a look around. Storage on one side, a little sofa on the other, right underneath the hull window, and I like how the hull windows dip down towards the waterline, so you should be able to see the water from inside your bed. TV mounted up on the wall, and again, some really nice use of materials. The contrasting gloss dark wood around the TV, so the TV blends in better. But everywhere else, it's this lovely matte walnut, all grain matched as well. If you've seen Princess tours, you'll be familiar with this, but they do it really, really nicely. You know, they built 100. This model's been out for a while, but it still looks fresh. And this is the thing, the designs are quite timeless. They age very gracefully, especially the sports cruisers, because they're so low slung and sleek and handsome. Again, storage is very good. Big hang locker, nice that you've got the auto illumination. Very little to complain about in here, really. All right, let's head back and take a look at the engine room, shall we? It's aft, and it is beneath this deck hatch. Let's drop down and have a look. Oh, and they've got rubber treads so it doesn't absolutely destroy your feet on the way down. That is luxury, Princess. That is luxury. Chuck a plate once you're down, but I'll take the nice soft ladder. Right. Now, what is nice about this area is that we've got a tender garage, but it does not completely destroy the engine room space. In fact, it's excellent for the size of boat. Full standing headroom for somebody of my height, which is 6 feet. It's nice and cool down here. It's well ventilated. It's well finished. Everything is labelled. You've got twin fuel filters. Loads of space around these D13 1000s. Outboard a bit pinched, but you can still sort of peer around them easily enough. Day-to-day servicing, all pretty easy. When I say day-to-day servicing, I mean things like getting to the dipsticks, the raw water strainers, the fuel filters, the belts, all the stuff that you're just going to check, that you should check before you go out every single time, is easy to do. Now, tucked back there, we've got the air conditioning equipment. You can see all of the pipe work for the plumbing, but again, it's all labelled. It's got the flow directions as well, so if you're trying to diagnose an issue, they've made it pretty easy. Really well insulated as well. Nice how you've got the boat hook, a nice spot for that. You always need somewhere to stow your boat hook, otherwise it just falls over, so handy to have that down there. Yeah, well insulated, so it'll be nice and quiet out on the water. This will cruise at about 25 knots for probably around 300 nautical miles. So yeah, fast cruising, that's what this thing is all about. There's a generator tucked down in the far corner. And there's also the option to have a seakeeper, which I don't think this one has got, unless I'm missing it. But yeah, you can have a seakeeper stabilizer on this model if you want one. But yeah, I was expecting this to be pretty compromised by the fact it's got a good sized tender garage, and it isn't. This is a really well done space. Top marks, Princess. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, there will be a written review linked to this video as well, so if you want to read more in depth, see the photos, the deck plans, compare this to its rivals, because it's up against the likes of the Sunseeker 55, Azimut Seadeck 6, that type of thing, then you can do that on YachtBuyer.com. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.